Have you ever felt like you weren't alone, even when there wasn't a soul around you? 15 years old. That's the age when you think you're old enough to take care of yourself. I lived in a wealthy, quiet neighborhood in suburban Connecticut, a place where the police only came to tell the kids not to play soccer in the street, a place where you thought was the safest. But that night, I made a fatal mistake. I decided to walk to my girlfriend's house, Casey. Casey's house was only 2 blocks away from mine, a distance so short, so familiar. I walked this path almost every night, but tonight the air felt heavier. The streetlights flickered as if they were about to burn out any moment. The first noise. I stopped. The bushes by the side of the road shimmied. I told myself, just a squirrel. But in my heart, a vague fear began to take hold. I walked faster. My footsteps seemed to be drowned out by another sound, a sound that was uneven. The crack of a branch. This time, it was much louder. I spun around. The street was empty. Only the black shadows of the surrounding houses seemed to be waiting to swallow me up. I started to panic. I grabbed my phone, called Casey. My voice was shaking, almost silent. Casey? Casey? Help me. Something is following me. What? Alex? Where are you? Why does your voice sound strange? I'm almost there. I'm walking through the intersection. Hurry up. And then I heard that footstep. It was no longer the sound of a breaking branch. It was the sound of running. The sound of a predator running. I dashed into Casey's yard. Casey was upstairs, waving and calling to me. But she wasn't looking at me. She was looking behind me. The expression in her eyes, I will never forget. It was the look of terror. A man, tall, thin, wearing a black hoodie, his face hidden in the shadows. He dashed out from the bushes by the side of the road. Get away! Stop! Casey, help me! Mom! Mom! Help Alex! You're not going to get away. I struggled in desperation. He tried to strangle me. I felt his cold breath against my neck. I dashed to the door, pounding it violently. Casey, open the door! Casey's mom opened the door. Her face was in shock. She pulled me in and locked the door. He ran away. The police came. They didn't find him. They said it might have been a predator. That guy was never caught. Now, every time I walk home at night, I never look back. Because I know there are some things that never leave you. They are always there, waiting in the shadows. The storm that hit suburban Seattle that year was one of the worst I had ever seen. The rain was blinding, and the wind howled through the pine trees surrounding our house. My whole family was home. My dad was watching football in the downstairs living room. My sister was wearing headphones, playing games in her room. As for me, I was lying in bed, enjoying the absolute feeling of safety inside during a stormy night. But that safety was just an illusion. My heart skipped a beat. A deafening noise smashed right against my bedroom window. I jumped up. Someone was out there on the second-floor windowsill. Open the door! Please open the door! I'm hurt! They are coming! Who are you? How did you climb up here? Go around to the front door. I'll get my dad. I dashed down to the living room. The pounding on the front door was frantic, like it was trying to break the hinges. My dad had stood up, moving towards the door. He reached out to turn the deadbolt. Dad, don't open it! There's a stranger out there! David, damn it, don't open the door! Step back right now! Henderson, what's going on? Someone is hurt outside. No, he's not hurt! I'm looking at your porch through binoculars. He's holding a massive wood-chopping axe. He's waiting in ambush right at the corner of the door for you to step out." My dad peeked through the blinds, and right at that moment, a brilliant flash of lightning tore through the sky. Its light was enough for us to clearly see what was standing on our porch. "You know I'm here already? Get the hell out! The cops are on their way! I have a gun!" 15 minutes later, the cops swarmed in. The stranger had vanished into the woods, but the next morning, they caught him wandering in the next town over. The police revealed he was a mental patient who had just escaped from an asylum. He had broken into Mr. Henderson's shed, stolen the axe, and roamed through the storm looking for his first prey. If the phone hadn't rung that night, if my dad had turned the deadbolt just 2 seconds earlier, that axe would probably have come down on his head, and then my whole family. Now, whenever there is a rainstorm, I never open the window blinds again. When I was 10, my family lived in an old house in Ohio. The basement was always the scariest place, dark and cold. That night, I was watching cartoons in the living room. "Tommy, come down here and help me." "Are you down there, Mom? Wait a sec." The basement light was broken. It was pitch black down there. I got the chills, but it was clearly my mom's voice. I couldn't be mistaken. "The light is broken, Mom. Where are you?" "The light is broken, Mom. Where are you?" "Mom, why are you mocking me?" "Come down here, Tommy." "Tommy, what are you doing over there?" My heart stopped beating. If my mom was upstairs, then who or what was down there? "But you just called me from down there." "I was sleeping upstairs. Nobody is down there. Step away from the door." "Tommy, what are you doing over there?" It mimicked my mom's panicked voice perfectly. My mom dragged me out into the freezing cold. The police searched but found no one. The basement door was still locked from the inside. We moved out the next week. To this day, I never dare to stand near a dark staircase again. I live with my wife, Mary, on a remote farm in Oregon. The pine forests surrounding our house stretch for miles. It's so quiet here you can hear your own heartbeat. My evening routine was taking Buster, our Boston Terrier, for a walk along the familiar trail. But that evening, the air in the woods seemed thick. Buster refused to walk. He kept sniffing the air and whining. From a distance, a figure appeared. In this desolate area, encountering a stranger was rare. As soon as he got closer, Buster's hair stood on end and he barked ferociously, biting the leash to lunge forward. "Sorry about that. He doesn't like strangers. Good evening." He drifted past me like a ghost. No answer. No reaction. A chill ran down my spine. I turned my head to look, but he had already disappeared behind the bend. I decided to head home earlier than planned, but after a short distance, Buster stopped dead in his tracks. I heard it. The sound of dry leaves crunching behind me. About 30 paces away, I stopped. The footsteps stopped too. I took a chance and looked back. Through the faint remaining light, I saw him, the hooded guy from earlier. He was half hiding behind a large tree trunk, standing motionless like a statue, staring dead at me. He had turned around and stalked me this whole time. "Come on, hurry up, Buster, hurry up. Oh God, he's coming." Before I could even turn around, a terrifying force yanked me back. A massive hand, reeking of stench and mold, covered my mouth and nose entirely. I couldn't breathe. I couldn't scream. I felt his chest pressing hard against my back. But he hadn't counted on Buster. My little dog lunged at his heel, biting and tearing frantically. The pain made his grip loosen just a bit. In that very moment, I pulled my hand out of my pocket. Pepper spray, the self-defense item I've always carried for years. I aimed straight at that dark shadow and pressed the button mercilessly. He let go of me instantly, clutching his face with both hands, stumbling backwards, letting out savage screams that echoed throughout the woods. With all my remaining strength, I scooped up Buster and ran straight toward the dim lights of the house in the distance. The police scoured the woods that night, but found no one. Only drops of blood from his leg where Buster bit him left on the ground. The pine forest is no longer a peaceful place. That guy is still out there. And since that night, my hunting rifle is always loaded, sitting right by the front door. Growing up in California, especially in South Central LA, you had to learn to turn a blind eye to a lot of things. That was the territory of the Crips, one of the most ruthless street gangs in America. My best friend Stevie and I always stuck together. One late afternoon when we were 12, we were riding our bikes around the neighborhood and stopped in front of the Black House. It was a long abandoned house, overgrown with weeds, windows boarded up. Except for one window on the ground floor. Yo, Marcus, look at that. Is someone in there? No way. This place has been abandoned for years. It's probably just a mannequin or some leftover Halloween decoration. We curiously got closer. The face didn't move at all. Its eyes were tightly shut, skin pale. It looked too real, but our childish minds convinced us it was just a rubber prop. Stevie, with his mischievous nature, came up with a crazy idea. I double dare you to go in there and bring that fake head out. Are you crazy? If the gangbangers catch us. Scared? The back door is probably unlocked. In through the back, grab the thing, and bolt. We snuck in through the back door. As soon as we crossed the threshold, a horrendous stench hit our noses. It wasn't just a musty smell. It was a sickening mixture of rusty iron and rotting meat. The house was pitch black. We held our breath, tracing the wall toward the living room where the window was. Neither of us dared to turn on a flashlight for fear of being spotted from the outside. I reached out. My fingers touched its surface. It wasn't rubber. It was soft. It was freezing cold and had real, matted hair. A wave of disgust shot down my spine, making me flinch. I accidentally dropped it onto the floor. Oh my God, Marcus, blood. That's blood. It's a real human head. Run now. The exact moment we realized it was a dead body, the ceiling above us shook. Someone was upstairs. The floorboards cracked. The person who severed that head was still in the house, and he had just heard us. We ran like we had never run before, dashing through the bushes, jumping on our bikes, and pedaling frantically without daring to look back. The next day, the police locked down the entire area. The head belonged to a rival gang member, executed by the Crips and placed in the window as a bloody warning message. The police said the killers had used that very house as a torture chamber. If the back door had been locked that day, or if we had hesitated for even one more second, perhaps on that windowsill, there would have been 2 more heads.